Hey y'all. So somebody was wanting to know a list of like homesteading books and stuff, kind of how to make your way through a world where things could very well possibly change. And I like had basically all of them listed out, and then my comment disappeared as I was writing it, which is not the first time that's happened. So I don't know what YouTube is up to or who's doing it, but this is the easiest way around that. So let me pause this and get to a place where I can start. Okay, firstly, this is not a book. This is potassium iodide. This is good for radiation exposure, and that could be radiation from war or radiation from the sun, which has been blasting us with a ton of it lately. I am currently taking these because of the sun. All right, book number 1, The Lost Ways. This is by several authors. This has basic instructions on just like, look, stuff like this. Compounds. Oh, hold on. That's a hot mess. Me trying to do this one-handed. Building techniques. Let me find the index. Okay, so here's the table of contents, but you can kind of see, the survival food of the U.S. Civil War, how to make hardtack, how to render lard, preserving meat for a year with lard, just basically stuff on food and preservation of food, water supplies, different kinds of plants, things like that. So just like a comprehensive list of kind of a little bit of everything. Look, casting bullets. I'm not promoting that, by the way, just saying. But a little bit of everything. How to wax cheese, roasting meat, Dutch oven cooking, etc. So this is a really good comprehensive book. Let me get the next one. Herbs that heal. Natural medicine at its best. This includes herbs that you can buy, herbs that you can grow, and how to use them with instructions. If it's something that needs to be chopped up and cooked down and concentrated, you're going to get that. Look, it's even got skincare and topical beauty. Look at that. So a little bit of everything. Look, taming the symptoms of menopause. Hello, totally there. St. John's wort, rosemary, red clover, skullcap, which is a mushroom, I think. Nope. Also known as mad dogweed, helmet flower. So again, a comprehensive list of very common herbs and spices and how to use them. Let me get the next one. Beekeeping for Beginners. This one is by Amber Bradshaw. We don't have any bees yet. We got the hive like earlier this year. It's been sitting outside. There are no bees. I was hoping maybe some bees would be like, hey, there's a home and move in. That didn't happen. We're going to have to order bees, which is kind of scary. The Lost Tincture Recipe Bible, all in one. Again, this is using native herbs and plants plus, just cultivated herbs and plants and how to use them, how to make tinctures and salves and poultices and stuff like that. Tabletop distilling. This is a great one to have. I do have a steam distiller. It's not fancy like this. It's just a little cheap basic setup just so that I could extract certain compounds from some of the plants and stuff I grow, like calendula. Calendula's got like a lot of good uses. If I remember correctly, it's really, really good for the skin. A lot of the flowers and stuff that I grow can be again, distilled and extracted and used for good stuff like overall health instead of pharmaceuticals. Southeast medicinal plants. This is a great one because it has a lot of plants that grow specifically in this area, and it includes not only natives but invasives. And the reason you want to have invasives in here, I'll give you one good example. Here in the South, kudzu is a god awful nightmare, and we hate it. But guess what else it is? It's a survival crop in the winter. So when everything dies back and you can find the root of the plant, that root is edible and highly nutritious. So you definitely want books like this. Forgotten Home Apothecary. That's another one. Nicole Apelion, PhD. This is a good one. Again, just using plants to make medicine. Encyclopedia of Herbal Medicine. Because, again, health is your greatest asset. Mushrooms of the Southeast. Now, when it comes to mushrooms, you really, really, really want to do your research. There's a lot of AI written books out there that are full of misinformation, and you gotta be careful when it comes to mushrooms, because there's a lot of mushrooms out there that have identical counterparts. So like the beneficial mushroom will have an identical looking lethal mushroom, and the only way to tell the difference in some of those cases is by getting a microscope and looking at the spores under the microscope, and the shape of the spores is what's going to tell you the difference between the lethal ones and the non-lethal ones. So you want to have like a lot of mushroom books, because look, there's like so many beneficial mushrooms like lion's mane, turkey's tail, chicken of the woods, stuff like that have a lot of really, really good health benefits, but there's also deadly lookalikes, so you got to be super careful. The chocolate tree, just because I don't want a life without chocolate, and chocolate actually has a lot of health benefits. I am germinating round number 7 or 8 at this point in time. I've killed every single one of the previous ones, so wish me luck. Create Your Own Florida Food Forest by David the Good. He is my favorite all-time grower. He's a lot like me. He's battling sand and harsh growing conditions and not having, just oodles of time to devote to it. This makes it easy, especially if you've got sandy soil. It breaks everything down. Don't make a compost pile when you can chop and drop the weeds right where you're at. They're going to decompose right where they're at and put all that nutrition right back into the ground and save you a lot of work. So this is a good one to have. Minimalist Gardening, also by David the Good, for the same reasons. I'd actually buy all of his books if I was you. And they also have an Etsy shop where you can buy seeds and plants, and they are the highest quality seeds and plants out there. So again, highly recommend. Building with bamboo. I grow bamboo. I get it. A lot of people hate it. I see it for the value in it, such as the fact that it can, take in twice as much CO2 as any other plant and release 33% more O2. It can withstand F5 tornadic winds. As far as I know, nothing else can. But it just shows a lot of different designs. But the most important thing is it shows how to do the joints and the joinery. Let me see if I can find that. Is it at the back? It might be at the back. But it gives, it gives instructions on how the plants grow. They spread by rhizomes. Let me pause it and see if I can find the joints. Here you go. Here's what I'm talking about. It's got ways of connecting bamboo with man-made components, but also without man-made components. So just little bamboo skewers and bamboo string. That way, if you're in a post-apocalyptic world where you can't get a hold of the stuff that we're used to having, you can still make wood joints. Japanese wood joints are also a really good book to have. I used to have one. I don't know what happened to it. And let me pause it for the last one. It's not the last one, but it's like the last one I'm going to show. Okay, it's not the last one, but I remembered I had another one. But this basically shows you how to do everything from making soap, growing, splitting firewood. Holla, y'all. Splitting firewood is like, once you start doing it, you'll fall in love with it, and it's great for your abs and your ass. But this just has a comprehensive list of, look, bicycle generators, water purification, rain catchment systems, basically everything you need to know how to live without technology and the things that you're used to having. Again, making soaps, look, weaving, how to build a loom. I mean, this is really good stuff to know, because you're going to need blankets. Oh, well, we won't go about that. Let's just skip the page. Again, different joints. A lot of these joints, they're so valuable because they don't need screws. They're self-locking. So, stuff like this. And if you just want like one overall comprehensive how to do a little bit of everything, homesteading, second edition, Abigail Gehring. I think this is the second one of her books I have. I'm not sure. But again, just a little bit of everything. How plants use water, how to grow vegetables in a container garden, things to consider. Again, it's also got like soap making. Here, look. Process times for fruits and fruit products in a weighted gauge pressure canner. I don't have a pressure canner. I'm kind of afraid to even attempt anything like that. But this has all the instructions if you do have one of those. Oh, look. Water lilies. So yeah, cheese. How to make cheese. You make cream cheese by using milk. It's not made from cream, it's made from milk, and it's so easy. You just like heat the milk and you put in a little bit of acid like lemon juice or vinegar, and it makes curds, and then you gather those up and you strain them, and you have like you cream it together, and you got Philadelphia cream cheese, and it's the best stuff ever. Chicken coops, all that good stuff. So yeah, so just a basic list of books in which you can survive a lot of stuff besides like an asteroid or something like that. If you live through all that, you can revert to these books to help keep you here just a little bit longer. Hopefully that helps.